In a quiet town on the edge of Washington state, people believed they were good. They woke early. They worked hard. They smiled politely. They spoke about morals and faith, but goodness, here was only daytime behavior. This is the story of a town where midnight was not meant for sleep. Every night, before the clock reached 11:45, the town began to shut itself down. Lights turned off, one by one. Conversations ended suddenly. Children were sent to bed without questions. By 11:50, doors were locked. By 11:55, curtains were drawn. No one ever explained why, because everyone already knew. Near the abandoned highway, beyond the line of dead trees, there was an empty field. By day, it was nothing. Dry grass, broken fence, but the land was not empty. It was waiting, and at exactly 12 o'clock, the town decided who was guilty enough to see what rose from the ground. At exactly 12 a.m., the field breathed. The soil cracked without sound. Lanterns rose from beneath the earth and lit themselves with blue fire. Wooden stalls grew upward as if they had roots buried deep below. This is the story of a market that never existed in daylight. The midnight market opened without announcement. People with clean hearts walked past the field and saw nothing, just darkness. Just air. But those carrying jealousy, grief, obsession, or desperation stopped walking. They saw everything. Stalls filled with impossible things. Mirrors that reflected different lives. Bottles glowing with stolen years. Books whispering names softly. Behind every stall stood a shopkeeper, human in shape, inhuman in patience. They did not call out. They did not advertise. He waited, because everyone who saw the market already wanted something. The rules of the market were never written, but everyone understood them. Nothing here was bought. Everything was exchanged. Money meant nothing. Gold was laughed at. Only loss mattered. One stall offered beauty that could silence mockery. Another offered love that could not be earned. Another offered life taken back from death. Another offered black magic disguised as justice. The shopkeepers never judged. They never argued. They never lied. They asked only one question: what are you willing to lose? And desire always answered faster than fear. Every buyer believed they were strong. Every buyer believed they were different. They were wrong. A woman who had been mocked since childhood stood before the beauty stall. She had been called ugly, ignored, laughed at. She wanted to be beautiful, not admired, loved. The shopkeeper asked for every real emotion she would ever feel. She agreed. By morning, the town worshipped her face, but inside her, nothing existed. No joy, no sadness, no love. A grieving mother came next. Her daughter had died beneath a truck. She begged for a child. The shopkeeper pointed to her future. The next life you would create, it said. The mother agreed. The daughter returned. Breathing, smiling, but she no longer remembered being a child. A boy but the love of a girl who hated him. The price was her happiness. She stayed. She smiled. Her eyes were empty. Forever. A woman bought black magic to destroy her husband's lover. The price was her peace of mind. She succeeded and never slept again. A lonely girl bought life for her dead cat. The price was her ability to love. The cat returned. The girl never loved another living thing again. Every buyer left satisfied. At first, the market never collected payment immediately. That was its kindness. Days passed. Weeks passed. Then the town began to change. Children stopped laughing. Homes felt colder. People stared at loved ones and felt nothing. Some buyers forgot what they had given. Others pretended not to notice. But the market remembered everything. Slowly, the truth spread. If you returned to the market, the price doubled. If you refused to pay, the market chose for you. Families vanished. Names disappeared from records. Photographs changed. The field waited patiently every night, and the market grew There was one man who believed he was smarter than the market. He came not from desperation, but ambition. He wanted success, power, a life where no one could ever look down on him again. The shopkeeper listened patiently. The price was simple, the remaining years of your life. The man agreed. Overnight, his life changed. Money came easily. Doors opened. Respect followed him everywhere. But when the shopkeeper returned to collect the payment, the man panicked. He refused. He locked his doors. He prayed louder than he ever had before. He begged God to protect him from what he had willingly chosen. At midnight, the walls of his house whispered. The shadows moved closer. The market came to him. The next morning, he was alive, rich, successful, but something was wrong. His phone held no contacts. Photographs showed empty spaces where he should have been. Neighbors stared through him. His wife screamed when she saw him. His children did not recognize him. He still existed. He still breathed, but he belonged to no one. The market had accepted payment, not his life, his place in the world. This is the story of what the midnight market truly feeds on, where desire feels more urgent than patience, where love turns into control. Every buyer walks in willingly. That is why the market is never wrong. The town changed forever. Midnight became a time of silence and prayer. Another empty field would begin to wait. And if one night you'll find yourself awake at 12 a.m., standing near a place that should be empty, ask yourself why it can see you.